C complex cleanser. translucent green refreshing cleanser. berry PDRN serum made from rice. Because y'all know I love a vegan serum. Beauty Blending Pack. skincare to the ingredients and when to use them. We're going to start with the cosmetic industry's most recent obsession, which is niacinamide in serum or in toner form. Niacinamide is a pretty light, pretty good to work with ingredient. It tends to work well with things like retinols, hyaluronic acid. It plays nice with most skincare ingredients. When to apply niacinamide, firstly, would be either in the morning for your sunscreen or in the evening, a little bit before you go to bed. You want it to fully absorb. You don't want to have a wet skincare face, lay on your pillow, and then turn on your side. You want the skincare in your skin, not on your bedding. Layering niacinamide, usually you want to start anything over 10%. You want to start by using 2 to 3 times a week after a proper batch test. 2 to 3 times a week, and very slowly, very carefully increase to daily use, specifically with higher concentrations. I have this one from SkinFect. It is a brightening serum and it has 10% niacinamide. You want to be careful with higher concentrations. This toner, however, I'm pretty sure, honestly, it might not even have that high of a concentration because it says nowhere on the bottle the concentration. It is a pretty light toner, so it does work well after a gentle cleanser. Almost always use a gentle cleanser. You don't want anything too heavy with active ingredients because too many active ingredients at once is usually what causes dermatitis, skin inflammation, acne. That really rough, red, scaly texture on your skin can come from too many active ingredients, niacinamide being one of them. Specifically with a niacinamide cream, this is the Haru Wonder 5% niacinamide radiance gel cream. I will keep it really simple with a light cleanser, regular toner, some vitamin C, a little bit of this. I do about 2 fingertips worth for my face and neck, and then I will layer all of that under a just really good ceramide moisturizer. Usually with most active ingredients, you want to finish with a ceramide moisturizer because it's light and it's really gentle on the skin, specifically if you want your active ingredients to work the best. Vitamin C and hyaluronic acid is probably the most beginner-friendly of active ingredients that you can find in skincare because they are in just about everything. When applying vitamin C and hyaluronic acid, you want to start with, like I said previously, a good gentle cleanser. You usually don't want anything with enzymes because they can be an exfoliant and you don't want to. I usually don't exfoliate if I'm going to use serum, my active ingredients in serum form. I save that for moisturizers with active ingredients. For serums specifically, I will gentle cleanse and then you're going to apply your serums 2 to 3 drops, pumps. Seems to be pretty good for the entire face. I like to let it absorb fully, let it dry before I apply my moisturizer and my sunscreen. Just because you want to layer your consistencies thinnest to thickest to make sure everything locks down. It's not like recommended that you apply them in the morning or at night. They work great for both. Vitamin C and hyaluronic acid do really well to lock in moisture and keep you from drying out. I live in a desert, so this is super important. Next is probiotics. I know a lot of people take them, but they do come also in a serum or facial mist form. With applying probiotics, they tend to play very nicely with hyaluronic acid as a good way to just have a very moisturizing skincare routine. Again, best to start with a gentle cleanser apply your probiotic serums, usually before your heavier or thicker moisturizers. It's best to pat or press it in instead of just rubbing it in like I would a regular serum. I know that on their website they recommend just using it in the evening and then increasing frequency. I use this when I remember to use it. I feel like that's just what we all do, regardless of brand suggestion. But I do like this facial mist. It's very hydrating. I do like a nice gimmick. I do apply all over my face. I pat it down, I let it dry, and then I apply my other moisturizers. Usually with probiotics, you want to use a really light moisturizer just because you don't want to over scrub and destroy the healthy bacteria that probiotics usually tend to add. EDRN, the scariest skincare ingredient to date. This is the Equalberry rice PDRN. It's vegan, obviously. PDRN can be great for helping to calm down skin inflammation and skin irritation, but it's important to know how you should be using it. We're gonna again start with our gentle cleansers, our toners. PDRN tends to be thick and milky. Lord. So you want to apply this towards the end of your skincare routine. Usually this is going to be the last thing you apply with your others after your other serums, but before your creams. PDRN tends to work really nicely along ceramide, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide. Layering these correctly can honestly create the best barrier protection hydration routine. Usually you don't want to immediately mix this with retinols or harsh exfoliants like AHAs and BHAs, really just to prevent irritation. I find it best to just keep with a ceramide moisturizer for things like this, just to keep it really nice, really light, so that none of the ingredients irritate each other. You don't want to make them mad. It's everybody's favorite. Can be really good for acne, for more mature skin. Really, whatever you use it for, it is really easy to screw up your entire skincare routine if you aren't careful with how you use retinol. Retinol is a great ingredient. Usually, you want to start with 1 to 2 times a week and then slowly, gradually increase to about every other night if your skin can tolerate it. It is a very high active ingredient. For sensitive skin specifically, you want to apply a very thin, light layer of moisturizer. Ceramide moisturizers are my go-to before the retinol to make sure you aren't increasing the risk of irritation and just only slightly decreasing the effectiveness because you're applying this on top of another cream product. When applying your retinol, you want to avoid really sensitive areas like under your eyes or on your nose or on your mouth. You don't want it to just dry these areas out because they can get very scaly. They can get really irritated really quickly. I remember making that mistake once. I had a cluster of pimples around the corners of my mouth. It was awful. So you want to be very careful with retinol. It is a super strong active ingredient and can be great if you keep it with lighter ingredients like vitamin C or niacinamide in very low concentrations. And even PDRN, again, in very low concentrations. You don't want to mix it with really high active ingredients like salicylic acid, benzyl acid, in the same routine, just because it can cause very mild irritation or very severe irritation. salicylic acid and lactic acid should be used on their own. I will scream it from the rooftops. You are not doing yourself any favors if you mix your salicylic acid, your lactic acid, with things like retinol or with really high concentrations of niacinamide. They don't play nicely with others. They don't. If you're going to use lactic acid or salicylic acid, it needs to be the only thing that you're using for that day. A gentle cleanser, just that salicylic acid, lactic acid in whatever form, and then a ceramide moisturizer, ceramide toner with it if you're feeling extra spicy. But what you don't want to do is just apply all of these ingredients at once, especially with salicylic acid and lactic acid. Again, they don't play nicely with other ingredients. Use them on their own. Gentle cleanser, ceramide moisture, ceramide toner, lactic acid or salicylic acid, ceramide moisturizer. Just let that be the main active ingredient in your routine for that day, because it just doesn't work very well with other ingredients. It can cause severe irritation, dryness, peeling, redness. It's not smart to use it with other things. I didn't intend for this to become an angry rant about salicylic acid. Skincare unboxing. First is this whipped strawberry cleanser with half of their whipped base, 1 teaspoon vegetable glycerin, 3 tablespoons of strawberry extract, 2 tablespoons of vanilla fruit extract, 7 drops of glutathione, 3 drops vitamin C, 1 drop of gardenia extract. This is such a nice little pastel pink. This is their whipped mugwort cleanser, and all of these cleansers are vegan, by the way. With their whipped base, 1 teaspoon vegetable glycerin, 5 tablespoons of Centella asiatica extract, 1 teaspoon mugwort powder, 7 drops tea tree essential oil, 5 drops medicacic acid, I think I said that right, and 1 drop salicylic acid. It's like really nice pastel, like color scheme with their bottles, I've noticed. Next is their Mawa butter cleanser, made of their whipped base, 1 teaspoon of vegetable glycerin, 3 tablespoons niacinamide, 2 tablespoons cocoa seed butter extract, 7 drops of fig fruit extracts, 3 drops ceramide, 1 drop gardenia extract. Next is their, I think it's their lavender, and actually I think it's just their lavender cleanser. This is made of their whipped base, 1 teaspoon vegetable glycerin, half a cup of golden jojoba oil, 2 tablespoons vitamin B5, 7 teaspoons of lavender oil, 3 drops allotonin, and I think I said that right, 2 drops of xylitol. Don't ask me how to pronounce that or what it is. I'm open to this like a barbarian. This, I think, is their lemon and grapefruit cleanser. I can't read what that says, but I'm going based solely off of what I remember getting. So, this is made of their whipped base. 1 teaspoon vegetable glycerin, 3 tablespoons niacinamide, 2 tablespoons yucca fruit extract for vitamin C, 7 drops grapefruit extract, 3 drops LHA, which is a gentle exfoliant, and 1 drop of liposome. I don't actually know how to pronounce this. It's spelled BAKUCHIOL. I don't quite know how to pronounce that. And lastly is their avocado cleanser. With their whipped base, 1 teaspoon vegetable glycerin, 4 teaspoons avocado oil, cold pressed, it's in parentheses, 7 tablespoons vegan collagen, we love that, 5 drops lime essential oil, 4 drops peptide, and 3 drops Centella iadica extract. Very cute pastel cleansers. Up next is this Equalberry Plumping Capsule Toner. Equalberry is such a good brand. I love so many of their products. I am so excited to try this toner. It's a solid, like really hard shell plastic, but it has such a nice weight to it. And you can see all the little capsules in the toner. I love that. This is the Equalberry Vitamin Illuminating Serum. I have their vegan PDRN, and it does so much for. They package this so well. So much for my skin irritation. I'm so excited to try this. Shoot, vitamin serum. Oh, that's so cute. It comes with a tiny little pamphlet with all their ingredients in different languages. Okay, absolutely love that. I will be going through that later. This, I think, is a glass bottle. It feels like a glass component. Up next is the Orencia Deep Water Surge Soothing Cream. I love their Rosehip Mochi Cleanser. It is, I've said this before in a couple of videos, but it is the best cleanser for sensitive skin. This is about the size of one of their mochi cleansers, so you are getting a fair amount of product. I live in a desert, so finding and using a good moisturizer is just not negotiable. This has such an interesting texture. It looks like a blurring primer. It looks like a blurring primer, but it just feels like a really nice lotion. But I want to see what this does because my hands are super dry right now, so I want to see how this feels. It has a really thin, really light consistency. It does feel a bit like water, but it goes over really nicely. There's no skin irritation. 5 stars. I got a little sample of the Mixoon Bean Sun Syrup. It's just so cute. I get most of my K-beauty products from Yes Style, and I happen to get this keychain. It's just this cute, fluffy little green Y with dice, a bell, a bow, a silver heart, and this cute little mirror. That's pretty nice. This is immediately going on my bag. I have a bag with my main purse has so many bag charms. Case in point. So we're gonna add this one to my purse. Lots of bag charms.